Let's talk about the facts. The Rafa facts. Guys, welcome to another video on my channel. The objective for Arsenal is clear. That's all I'm here to talk about. I'm going to talk about Arsenal and Burnley yesterday, and I'm going to talk about the objective for us heading into the next couple of weeks. So first things first, let's get into Burnley. But before that, please make sure to smash the like button. Please make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much. I'm over 3K subs. Really grateful. That was a goal of mine last month and we've done it. Now let's see how far we can get. Let's see if we can get to 10K subs. I don't know. Let's see. But I want to talk about Burnley. Let's talk about the facts. Arsenal's still top of the league. Still top. Another clean sheet. Another victory in a ground that was not easy. And if we're being honest, it should have been more. We should have scored at least 3 or 4 goals at halftime. But Burnley were lucky that was only 2-0, right? Saka on another day should have at least 2 goals. Should have at least 2 goals. And it's interesting, you hear all the... I did a video yesterday about the narratives coming out that Arsenal match, and I just found it interesting because I watched... I said, just for my own amusement, let me just review that Liverpool-Burnley match when Liverpool won. When Liverpool won 1-0, where they needed a Salah penalty. Where they couldn't break down Burnley. Where Liverpool's, bear in mind, Liverpool's first shot, people are saying 25 shots that Liverpool had, right? Of course, I don't want to focus on them. I just want to use this for context. Liverpool went to this ground, had 25 shots. On paper, that looks like, oh man, battered them. Burnley just sat in. But really and truly, Liverpool only had 1 shot on target. And that shot on target came in the 92nd minute when Burnley were down to 10 men. Frimpong, where Dubravka's forced into a save. I give you that for context because that is not what you saw when Arsenal played Burnley at Turf Moor. Especially with Burnley putting 11 people behind the ball. It still didn't work. And if you've been following my channel, if you've been watching my videos, you will know one of the things I am so impressed by with Arsenal this season is the fact that teams, this low block nonsense, were just finding a way. We're finding ways past them. Last season, these things limited us in terms of what we were able to do. It's either we'd create some chances, and the some chances we created in stale games, we wouldn't take them. But now it's not just that we've got people taking some chances, even though we missed a couple. We're now finding ways. Say what you want about set pieces. I spoke about last week. Anything to force teams out of that shape, let us do it. Even when we were 1-0 up, Burnley still put 11 men behind the ball, but we were slicing and dicing them. And I mentioned that Liverpool match for context. We came to this ground, a ground where, yes, they're newly promoted. Yes, really and truly, we all expected Arsenal to win. However, I went with a 2-0 win. Obviously, I didn't say it publicly, but I looked at that game. I said, this has 2-0 written all over it. Maybe 3-0. Maybe 3-0, but 2-0 sounded about right because it's not an easy match. This is a team who are known for their defensive prowess at home. Hence, they've only lost once. Caveat, they've lost once. They've lost once now, twice at their ground in 18 months. Liverpool and Arsenal. Caveat, you're playing in the Premier League. It's a different level of opposition, but still, I find that very amusing. That this was a game that on paper we should be winning, but at the same time we know it's the Premier League. Things don't just go the way they should on paper. Well, we've been making them that go that way on paper. That from paper to performance that is this season. But what I found honestly really impressive was how easy we cut them over. We cut them open, easy. It's so funny. People say set piece FC, set piece FC. My goodness. Some of that attacking play in the first half, wow. Bellissima. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. We were slicing and dicing them open for fun. For fun. Like, it was so simple. And it was like, wow. And this is the thing about us. When we want to, we can turn it on, right? I still don't think we're at top gear. I still don't think we're at our best, but wow, that was a really good first half. Obviously, we dropped off a bit second half. The substitution of Gyökeres didn't aid that and whatnot. And despite the fact that we dropped off, we still created some decent openings in the second half. We still had some tidy football, some decent chances, good opportunities to break and whatnot. So, boy, that for me, that was a good performance. I mean, Burnley didn't have a shot on target at their ground. Not a shot on target. Raya was not forced to make a meaningful save. I mean, obviously Edwards hits the post with a great free kick effort. It's crazy. It's mad. This guy was playing against us for Sporting Lisbon last season, but can't even start for Burnley. That's mad to me. But anywho, back to Arsenal. Good performance. Great result. 2-0, clean sheet to boot. That's the 7th clean sheet in a row. And our attack still ain't clicking. Boy, Erdegaard injured and we're still doing this. Boy, it's scary. Scary hours for the league. Now, I want to talk about players. Of course, I'm going to talk about Big Vic, Victor Gyökeres. You've already seen my video criticizing the silly narratives around him. First, when he scores a good goal against Leeds, where he basically gets the ball, charges past 2 players, scores a goal, people are like, oh yeah, you know, like he's not really the elite goal scorer because he snatched at a few chances. He's not the elite goal scorer Arsenal need, blah, 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 blah. Then when he scores strikers' goals against Atletico, where he's there, it's jammy, but hey, those are strikers' goals. He's told, oh, man, it's one of the worst braces you'll ever see. And then he scores a header from point-blank range. And then you see people saying, oh, man, it's mad. Oh, it's mad how Gyökeres is comfortably going to score 20 goals in the league this season, but none of them are going to be good goals. What does that mean? What does that mean? You've just acknowledged that a guy playing in his first season in the Premier League, where many said he wouldn't be able to make the step up from the bummy league, Portuguese league, to the Premier League, you've just accepted he's going to score 20 goals, and that's not something good. What is a good goal? I went back at those haters. What's a good goal? What's a good goal for a striker? Van Nistelrooy scored a lot of non-good goals. He scored goals, though. Inzaghi scored a lot of non-good goals. He scored goals, though. He scored goals. What do you want a striker to do? For me, it's crazy. I think we got to be careful about how we bend. Like we moved the goalposts and we changed the narratives. But boy, Gyökeres had a good game, man. Arteta said it was his best game, and I would agree. Pressing, link-up play. Every time that ball went forward, it stuck. It stuck. Laid it off. You had some people hating on his pass to Trossard. Bro, he meant that pass to Trossard. He switched the play. That's what he did. And again, for the goal, I was pleased. That's exactly the type of goal I want Gyökeres scoring. And you know what? There was a part of Gyökeres' game I was unfamiliar with. Because I'm not going to lie to you, between him and Šeško, I said, you know what? Let's go for Gyökeres. He's the finished product now. He's going to come in and bang some goals. I never thought about how Gyökeres is going to develop into a better player. I honestly did not have that in mind. I just thought, you're a gunman. We just need to supply you with chances. You're going to score goals. But my man is learning and improving game by game. We can see clearly, there's more. People like to say he's an oaf. There's clearly some technical ability to this guy. And for me, I think it's to be commended that you're 27. You've got the goals record you've got. You fought your way to get a move to Arsenal. And you're willing to do what it takes to work on yourself. To not just score the goals, but to actually work on improvement. For me, I'm not mad at that. Look at his movement. Compare his movement Atletico Madrid and Burnley. Compare his movement when the centre-back wins the ball, when Gabriel wins the ball. Compare that to Fulham. When Trossard scored that winning goal, where was Gyökeres? Gyökeres was right next to Gabriel trying to be in that melee to win the ball, to win the flick on. And who was there anticipating a flick on? It was Trossard, right? Which is why Trossard stays in the team. Because despite the fact that he doesn't really offer that much, the guy in the box, his IQ is actually semi-high because he kind of knows where he needs to be to get a chance. And I believe that's why Arteta plays him in the team. But look at Gyökeres' movement, guys. Look at his movement for Atletico. Look at how he peels away for his second goal, the brace. Look at his movement now for the corner. He's not there where in Gabriel's zone. He just knows, okay, I'm the striker. I know where I need to be. I'm going to let Gabriel win the flick on, win the header. I know I'm going to eat. And where was he? Right place, right time, goal. So I think that's something we got to give Gyökeres credit for. The guy literally is learning and improving as a player, which is what I spoke about, which is what I wanted to see. I said on AFTV, when was it, last week, 2 weeks ago, that Gyökeres he's similar to Haaland in that he's come to Arsenal this season, and of course the team is already adjusting to the way he plays. We're a lot more vertical, a lot more direct, a lot more like look at our second goal. There we say we scored from another set piece, except it was Burnley's. Why? We scored from their long throw-in. We scored from their long throw-in, guys. Great counter-attacking goal. But again, you watch Gyökeres. You watch the movement. You watch the play. I think, man, we got to give him credit. Because the guy... So sorry, the point I was making... So I got lost in my thoughts. The point I was making was that Gyökeres, Haaland in his first season, you could clearly see he came and he kind of had to adapt to Man City. You know, he had to... And defenders maybe in his second season kind of started to figure him out. Second and third season kind of started to figure him out again. But City are now more playing to his strength, but he's also improving a lot as a player. I think Gyökeres is improving as a player. As in terms of the types of movements. This is the one thing I asked for. I said, look, I expect this. I expect Gyökeres to have this implementation period. I'm happy. I'm okay with his goal return. I think he can score more goals, but I'm pleased with his performances as a player because he's adapting. He's learning. He's now learning, okay, where do I need to be positionally? How much space do I need to give myself with defenders? Where do I need to be standing? You can see the guys learning that. So good on you, Victor, for scoring the goal. Setting us on our way. You had all of these merchants. Oh, he only scores goals after you're 2-3-0 up. Well, he scored the opener today. And he had a big part in the second goal. Say something. And I pray he's not injured. I pray he's not injured, but even if he's fit, we should rest him for Slavia Prague. I'm going to get to that later. But yeah, I think there's a lot of criticism that goes Arsenal's way. Right, the people call us set piece FC, bruv. I gave you the Liverpool stats for context. Set piece FC. Yet we were this team that Liverpool struggled to create meaningful chances against. Despite having 25 shots, their probably best chance and clear-cut chance of the game came when Frimpong is in front of goal when Burnley were down to 10 men. But Arsenal 11v11 with them 11 men behind the ball. The entire first half, we cut them open at will. So for me, that was very, very encouraging to see that the quicker play, the higher tempo football, the quicker transitions into counter-attack, that's what we need to do when we're playing against low blocks. So all of the criticism that we're getting, keep it coming. I'll keep taking the set piece FC. I'll keep taking it. I don't want to ramble too much about that. I've said it already in a video. I ain't going to spend too much time. We cut open a team with a great defensive home record and whatnot, despite their low blocks. I mean, I don't really have much more to say. Great performance. Great result. Good performance, great result. I think it would have been a great performance if we were able to take our chances, but I ain't mad at 2-0. Top of the table. And now, Declan Rice. Caicedo had a great game against Tottenham. He's not better than Declan Rice. Stop it. He's not better than Declan Rice. Caicedo is not better than that. He's not better. And this is not a new take. I've been saying Declan Rice is the most complete central midfielder in the Premier League. Name me anything Caicedo can do better than Rice. Name me. There's nothing Caicedo can do better than Rice. And you'd arguably say Rice will score you more goals. Rice's set-piece deliveries are better. Rice's shooting ability outside the box, his shooting technique is arguably... I mean, Caicedo scores some screamers, but Rice does as well. Rice's technique and Rice's passing range, for me, I think he's got a bit more to his passing range than Caicedo. Show me. What does Caicedo do better than Rice? Why is he the best midfielder in the league? Show me. Nothing, man. I don't believe that. No shot on target for Raya to save. Ethan as well, an honourable mention to him for the Burnley game. I thought he did well. He came on. I think surely he's making it clear, look, I'm a start. I think he's probably going to start against Slavia Prague. So 7 clean sheets in a row, guys. Our attack still hasn't clicked. And another thing, Gyökeres, I think he deserves credit. Playing with different types of plays, different combinations. That's not easy. With a striker like him, you want a team that's settled, where you understand and you build the player relationships. Arteta has spoken Arteta has spoken on numerous occasions about the need for relationships with players. You heard Reece Nelson, when was it, last season or 2 seasons ago, he spoke about how even in training sessions, there's sometimes specific groups of players work on their chemistry. Like the left-hand side, they'll do drills. The right-hand side will do exclusive drills. So Arteta is a guy that builds the team, not just in the way he wants to play in terms of attacking space and closing down space, but also in terms of player relationships. That's massive for a guy like Gyökeres because he was building a good relationship with Ødegaard. Ødegaard gets injured. Then trying to build a relationship with Eze. Then trying to build a relationship with Saka. Then trying to build a relationship with Trossard. And kind of has a relationship with Martinelli. I think we've got to give Gyökeres a lot more credit, right? He's doing well. He's doing well. I don't even want to talk about the honourable mentions for this weekend. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's talk about it. Javi Simmons. Let it all work out. Spurs fans were playing that saying, we scammed Arsenal. We pretended like we wanted Eze, and we went to buy a guy younger than him with a higher ceiling than him. How's that working? By the way, for the record, I actually think Simmons is a decent player. I think he's a good player. I think he will come good. I think he's just the guy that needs to get used to the strength and physicality of the Premier League. It's just we live in a social media age nowadays. I think if social media was really at its peak the way it is now, when David Silva started at Man City, I remember David Silva the first 4 or 5 months at Man City. He looked lightweight. He didn't look like he cut the mustard at all. He struggled to get to grips with the physicality of the league, right? So Javi Simmons is going to be okay. And that's not even me trying to hate, but hold that, Spurs fans. Hold that. Oh, Eze's better than Simmons. Like, fair enough for higher ceiling. I don't care about that. Eze, we've got him as he's approaching his peak at 27. I'm fine with that. And even he still needs to get a bit more, give me a bit more, because I see him fading out in second halves. He has good first halves, second halves. I think he's probably played a lot of games. He's played a lot of minutes. I think we could do with a rest, to be honest, but I don't see us resting him for Slavia Prague. I just wanted to mention that. Now, what are our next steps? What is the objective for Arsenal? Honestly, just get to the international break. Get to the international break. We got 2 more away games. These are big games. Can we make it 4 in a row? Let's make it 4 in a row against Slavia Prague. Right. We're gonna need to rotate. We got injury concerns. Gyökeres went off. Zubimendi went off. Saliba, there were question marks over whether he'd start against Burnley. So we are, amazingly, despite our squad quality in terms of depth, we are struggling. No Martinelli. He's injured now. Still no Havertz. Still no Madueke. Jesus is coming back to fitness. No Ødegaard. No Noni. It's not that, and for all the people who say, oh, they wouldn't start. It's not about them starting. It's about us not having to play the same plays and run them into the ground. Right? Like, come on. What would our squad be like? What would the Slavia Prague squad be like offensively if we were able to call on Jesus, Havertz, and Noni? What would it be like? Come on, man. Let's not be stupid here. So we've got a couple of injury concerns. Honestly, I'm thinking we just need to persevere till the November internationals. We need to persevere and honestly, if I'm Arsenal, we need to be thinking, okay, cool. These players that are injured, we need to somehow entice them to not go on internationals with England, right? I think the likes of Saka and Eze should go, get their minutes up, get playing and whatnot. But I think, man, we need to persevere till November, because boy, the injuries are starting to pile up. Right, and we want to make sure we got a mad run after the international break, which I think we're going to do well in. But I want to make sure we've got a fit squad. So the objective is clear. Beat Slavia Prague. Do exactly what you did against Brighton. Rotate, but have the big guns ready, and also have some of the big guns in the pitch as well. If you need to start an Eze, fine, start an Eze. I think he can do well against. Let him get used to what the team needs to do. That's fine. If you need to start a big Gabby, start a big Gabby. I think it's one of them ones where we've got to literally persevere till Sunderland away. That's not going to be an easy game. However, I still think we're going to beat them. We'll probably beat them comfortably as well because of the way they play. So I want to see rotation, and I think the objective is just keep winning. Just keep winning. Just keep doing our bit. Don't worry about Liverpool. Don't worry about Man City. Don't worry about what they're doing. Just keep applying that pressure and doing what you need to do. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. Let me know if you agree with me on the Gyökeres improvements and his adaptation. Let me know if you agree with me on the Rice Saicedo stuff as well. Let me know. All the best. Thank you so much for the support. See ya.